Hey guys, welcome back to another pickups video, this time for the month of February of 2015. A month in which there were a lot of new releases that I was very much interested in, but I only picked up a handful of new things, mainly due to the fact that, I don't know if you guys noticed, the background is a little bit different. And yes, that's because we moved to a new place, no longer renting, now home ownership. So that could affect some things here and there, obviously, because now I would probably cut down on my regular pickups. Even though I usually don't spend a whole lot of money, I'm usually pretty good at buying used games and waiting on price drops and things like that. But definitely my expenses have gone up. My monthly expenses have gone up, so that's that. But I'm going to do something a little bit different. I usually start with the new releases at the beginning of the video, but I'm going to leave those for the end of the video because I want to discuss a little bit of some things regarding the new releases, like, you know, the Order 1886, you know, the whole controversy between length and, you know, the price of the game and things like that. So let me start with the quote-unquote older stuff, which is not very old because it's like, you know, current generation or previous generation. So let's start with that and then move on to the new releases, because I'm gonna talk a little bit about that. So if you guys just want to look at the pickups, then you can just turn the video off once we get to that point. But enough chatting, let's move on to the games. PlayStation 3 games. 3D Dot Game Heroes. I picked this up very cheap at GameStop used. And this is supposed to be a very fun game, somewhat of a homage to older games. Like The Legend of Zelda and things like that. So the game looks pretty interesting. It has like a retro pixel type of look to it, and the people that have played this have nothing but good things to say about it. So I'm very excited to play this at one point or another when I fix my PlayStation 3 situation, because as you all know, my PS3 is not working properly right now and I need to get a new one. So I'm really excited to give that game a shot once I sort that out. Another game that I picked up for dirt cheap is Alpha Protocol, another PS3 360 release published by Sega. This game is supposed to have a lot of like technical flaws, which is unfortunate, but the gameplay or, you know, the story and the gameplay of the game seems to be interesting enough to give it a shot, because, you know, again, it was like $5 or something like that, so definitely willing to give this a shot. Next up, another game that I am excited to try it out, and that game is Castlevania Lord of Shadows, which is, this game already has a sequel out that came out, I believe, last year, but I'm not the biggest Castlevania fan out there, and this game breaks a little bit from the traditional type of gameplay of Castlevania games. This is not a side-scrolling Metroidvania type of game. This is more of a 3D adventure / action game, and I'm very excited to try it. I think a lot of the purists and fans in the series complain a little bit because the game is so much different than you know, the regular Castlevania games, but I'm cool with that because I'm not a huge fan of the series, so I'm definitely excited to try this out. I've seen some gameplay footage of this and other impressions videos. And the game looks very interesting. It looks very good for being a, you know, PS3 title. So very excited to try this game out. And the last but not least, for the PS3, we have Batman Arkham Origins. I got this on sale at Kmart. It was like $10, and I already bit this game. I have this on the Wii U. I got it as a gift last year. And I really enjoyed this game, and I figured, you know, in preparation for the Arkham Knight game, which is coming out later this year for the PS4, I think I'm going to go on a marathon of older, you know, Batman Arkham games, and Origins is one that I really enjoyed on the Wii U, and you know, the PS3 version is going to be more of the same. So I figured, you know, I would buy this game again and, you know, play it again in preparation for Arkham Knight. So excellent game. I love the Batman Arkham games, so I'm excited to replay the game again, even though I already beat it. So that's that. Now for the PlayStation Vita, I picked up a game that I also have, that I already have, and that game is Soul Sacrifice. Thanks to PlayStation Plus, I was able to secure a free copy of, or a free digital copy of this game, but The physical version was on sale at Best Buy for like $7, so I couldn't say no to that because I absolutely love this game. It's hard for me to say it's one of my favorite Vita games because I put so little time into this game. When the demo got released, I put a ton of hours into the demo, and then when I finally got the game, you know, through PlayStation Plus, for some reason I did not play a whole lot of this. So now that I repurchased the game as a physical, you know, version, maybe that'll give you some motivation to go back and play it because I really like this game. It has a very unique, very bizarre setting and atmosphere, very dark, and I really like the fact that once you defeat the enemies, you can collect different elements and combine them to create your own, you know, move sets and things like that. So Soul Sacrifice, I'm excited to go back to this because from what I played, I really enjoyed this game. Now let's move on to the new releases. There were a ton of new things that were really high on my wish list. Let's start with the amiibos and then move on to the games. Amiibo month was crazy. February saw the release of a ton of amiibos, and this is getting out of hand in terms of, you know, people fighting over the amiibos, scalpers, strikes on the port and, you know, on the West Coast that are preventing the retail stores from stocking them. All sorts of problems. Nintendo is just a little bit clueless on how to distribute these things, and it's getting a little bit out of hand, but luckily I was able to get all the amiibos that were released during the month of February. Let's start with the exclusives. Rosalina, she was hard to get because I did not secure a pre-order, so I was lucky, very lucky to get her because she's a exclusive here in North America to Target, and I was gonna go on release day to get her, and I woke up late. I was late by like 45 minutes. I got there to Target, and luckily they had 3 Rosalinas left. I think the fact that they were only selling 1 per customer really helped my you know, my situation. So I'm very happy to have her because otherwise I would have missed her. And you know, I'm not willing to pay $40–60 for an amiibo online. So pretty happy to have her now. The next exclusive amiibo was Lucario, Toys R Us exclusive, and I did not go through a lot of trouble getting him because I had him pre-order, so yeah. Next up, another exclusive amiibo, Best Buy exclusive, Meta Knight from the Kirby series. Again, not a whole lot of trouble for me because I had him pre-order, but this is apparently one of the rare ones that people are going crazy you know, online, so I'm very lucky to have this. And last but not least, as far as the exclusive amiibos, we have Shulk. He's still sealed. I'm gonna open him up, but in the meantime, I'm trying to secure a second Shulk copy, which is gonna be very tough because I think he's already sold out pretty much everywhere. He was a GameStop exclusive here in North America, and he's definitely one of my favorite amiibos as far as detail and the the stance that he portrays here. I would really like to have a second Shulk figure so I can keep one sealed and open the other one. If I can't, I'm just gonna open this one. But in the meantime, I would like to keep it sealed just in case. And see if I can get a second copy. Next up are the non-regular amiibos. Let's start with Bowser. Very sturdy, very big, pretty hefty and heavy amiibo. He's one of the common ones of the newer amiibos, so he's pretty easy to get. Also we have Toon Link, which is not very difficult to get, very detailed. I really like his shield. The shield has a lot of details, pretty cute looking amiibo. Next up we have Sheep, also from the Legend of Zelda. Yeah, it was, again, not a whole lot of trouble for me because I had all of these guys pre-ordered through GameStop. And for once, GameStop did not screw up my pre-orders, so I was pretty thankful for that. Sonic the Hedgehog, another amiibo that I don't think is very rare. I think he's pretty regularly available at stores. One of the best looking amiibos here, Mega Man. Very detailed, very cute looking. If you're a Mega Man fan, this is definitely a nice piece of collection here. He looks really nice. Very happy to have them. And then we have some of the rare ones, or the rare ones like Ike from Fire Emblem, which apparently he's sold out everywhere and it's pretty hard to get, so I'm pretty happy to have him in here. And last, my favorite amiibo so far, none other than King DDD from the Kirby series. Very detailed, very sturdy and heavy figure. I would like to get a second one so I can put it in my office desk because he looks really cool. Plus he's also my favorite character in Smash Brothers to use, so I really like King DDD. Hopefully I'll be able to get a second one because he is really cool. I really like this amiibo. Yeah, amiibo stuff it's crazy, guys. It's getting to the point where, yeah, I mean, I'm already too deep into it, so might as well go for the entire Smash Brothers line and see what happens. But it's fun collecting them. So far I have all of them that were released so far, so it's it's an expensive hobby if you want to call it like that. But it's really fun collecting them, and having my collection. It's something that I really enjoy looking at them and playing with the amiibos and so forth. Now into the new games, and another limited release that I was very lucky to get, and we're talking none other than the Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, the remake for the Nintendo 3DS. I was lucky enough to get the collector's edition that comes with this very cool looking Skull Kid statue, which comparing to an amiibo, it's much bigger and very detailed. So this is definitely one collector's edition that I'm very thankful to have, because this is a very cool extra thing that came with the with the game. And I have to thank Alex Return to Mother Base, because he gave me a heads up that this was up for pre-order, because when this Majora's Mask got announced at the Nintendo Direct, pre-orders were open for GameStop and Amazon, and they were sold out within minutes. So later that night, Best Buy opened up their pre-orders, and it ended up working very well for me because I have 20% discount at Best Buy for when I buy new games. So I was able to get the collector's edition for a very good price. And I was pretty scared because Best Buy was canceling some of the pre-orders. It was overstock, or people put up so many pre-orders and things like that. So very limited. Again, Nintendo trying to I don't know what they're trying to do, but very thankful to have this. And that's it for the new games. I was gonna talk a little bit about some of the other new releases that I really wanted, but I was not able to get. Mostly because of the new house. Obviously I cannot go out there and just spend money, throw money out there, but I really wanted to get a new 3DS, even though there's not a killer app or game out for it. I really wanted to take advantage of that new improved 3D effect, and that second nub, and just the overall improvement as far as the CPU speed and things like that. I really wanted a new 3DS. I tried to get the Majora's Mask limited edition new 3DS, but unfortunately it got sold out within minutes. All the pre-orders were gone, and I thought about camping out before work, on my way to work, when the system got released. It was on a Friday, I believe, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait a little bit, see what happens later down the road. So I really wanted to get one, but I think I'm going to hold off. There's no necessity or immediate necessity for me to get a new 3DS, but definitely in the near future I would like to get one, just because of the new improved performance of the system, and obviously to play Xenoblade Chronicles for the 3DS. So that's that. Now another game that I had on pre-order, and in fact I had to go to the store to cancel my pre-order, was the Order 1886. And I had the limited edition pre-order, which was a great deal for me because Best Buy screwed up when they first opened the pre-orders. They put the limited edition as a regular game, so I was able to get the limited edition for like 48 bucks pre-order because of their mistake. And even then, even after that very good price for the limited edition, I decided to cancel. And I don't usually go with Metacritic scores, like a lot of people use them as a reference or as a go-by. But when there's an overwhelming number of negative reviews, then there must be a reason why. And apparently the game is very short, and not only that, but the gameplay is nothing spectacular, nothing that is innovative. So you know what, the game is gonna drop down in price pretty soon. And I figured, you know, I can wait. I have so many games in my backlog. I'm playing other games at the moment, so I don't really need to play the Order 1886 at this very moment. So decided to postpone my purchase, even though I had a great deal with the limited edition. But I think I'm gonna wait to pick up the Order 1886 because $60 for a new game, you know, I don't mind doing that. But I know the game is gonna drop down in price pretty quick, similar to what happened with Infamous Second Son for the PS4, which I got on day one. I paid you know, $48 technically because of my Gamers Club membership at Best Buy, but a few months after that the game dropped down to 40 and then to 30, and I think you can get the game now for like $25. So I think I'm gonna hold on into the Order 1886. Another game that I really wanted was Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. And again, my deal was if I get a new 3DS, I was going to get that game because the new 3DS, even though it's not an exclusive game made for the system, Monster Hunter takes advantage of the improved CPU speed and things like that. And I believe the textures are much better looking if you use a new 3DS. Plus you have that second knob or second stick that allows you to use for the camera and things like that. And I'm a console Monster Hunter player. Like the only experience I have with the series is Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate for the Wii U, a game that I loved. I got addicted to it. I put tons of hours into that game. But I'm so used to, you know, having a second stick for the camera control and things like that. So I am definitely gonna wait until I pick up a new 3DS. I think before I pick up Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, and hopefully there's people. Still people that will be playing online, you know, to my level. So I'll let you guys know whenever I pick that game up to see if some of you wanna join me and help me out online. But that's another new release that I skipped. And finally, another new release that I skipped was Kirby's. What is it called? I forgot the complete name of the game, but the new Kirby for the Wii U. It's a budget release, it's only $40, and I figured, you know, I can pick the game up later down the road. I'm not too crazy about it because it's not a typical Kirby game, it's more like a spin-off. It's not your typical side-scrolling, you know, 2D side-scrolling type of Kirby game. It's more of a, similar to like Kirby's Mass Attack, I think it was called for the DS. So, you know, you have to use the stylus for the gamepad and draw things on the screen and things like that. So I'm not too crazy, but I'll definitely pick up the game in the near future. Now, as far as digital games, the usual suspects, you know, all the PlayStation Plus releases, I was able to get Transistor and Apotheon, which are two downloadable games for the PS4. And I have played both of them. I started both of them. I was a little bit disappointed in Transistor because it's a game that a lot of people had a lot of good things to say about that game, but I'm not feeling it. I'm pretty early in the game though, so I'm gonna keep giving the game a try. I know it's a short game, so I might as well try and complete the game fully, but I'm not feeling the game too much, so that's that. And then Apotheon, which is a Metroidvania type of game, it seems to be pretty interesting. I'm pretty early into the game. And then they had Thief for the PlayStation 3, which I've heard is complete garbage, but still I put it on my download list. And also Yakuza 4, which I already have. I already beat that game. It's one of my favorite PlayStation 3 titles out there, but it doesn't hurt to have it on my download list in case I want to download it and have it on my hard drive at all times. Once I get a new PS3, that is, because I still need to get around that. And I was able to, during one of the sales, I believe during February, they had it like a random sale, and I got Shadow, I believe it's called Shadow Warrior for the PS4. It's like a first-person shooter that combines usage of weapons with like swords and things like that. Think of the first Red Steel game for the Wii, I believe. I have not played the game, I've only seen screenshots in fact, but it was on sale for like $6, so I figured you cannot go wrong with, you know, with the game being that cheap. and it sounds cheesy enough for me to warrant a purchase for $6. So Shadow Warrior for the PS4, I think that's the name, I'm not even sure. I think it's called Shadow Warriors or something like that for the PS4. So I have it on, I have it downloaded on my PS4, so I'm definitely gonna give the game a try. No rush to play it, but for $6, I figured I cannot go wrong. So that's it for this month, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you next month with more pickups. Take it easy.